Hi, I'm Ali Shabdar, Director of Strategic Growth at Zoho. Today we have the pleasure of having Brett Calamari with us. Well, Brett, thanks so much for joining us. Mind introducing yourself, telling us about yourself, please?
Sure thing. Brett Calamari, sales operations for Specialized Packaging Group. We manufacture specialized, I'd say, protective packaging for a variety of different industries. One I think this group is familiar with is the technology sector. So when people are manufacturing and shipping servers, they'll package it with either foam or maybe make a server rack. So that's what our company does throughout North America. And myself, I'm responsible for the Zoho stack that we're using, as well as our compensation program, which we're starting to put some of that into Zoho as well. So,
Again, thank you. And thank you for sending servers across the nation safe and sound because we need them for AI.
no problem.
Speaking of which, I heard you're utilizing AI pretty nicely in the organization. Do you mind taking us back to how the whole journey started? What made you think of leveraging, utilizing latest technologies, and then how, from there to the present state, how does today look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when that time where it was like, you know what, I'm missing out on something. So it was not company directed, it was more personal interest, personal directed. Certain departments are thin. My group is one of them. And so how can I maximize my time? And read an article about AI and creating assistants. And so that's kind of where it started for me. How can I have somebody to bounce things off of? And it's weird to say somebody. But when it came to compensation or when it came to Zoho and how we wanted to maybe roll certain things out or position things so we could get the most user, I guess, engagement. So that's where I started with those two agents. From there, I started to notice things within Zoho as well. Certain, I don't want to say simple things because I'm behind the scenes, it could be more difficult, but all of a sudden one day an enrich data button popped up on the account module, and it's as simple as taking the account name with the web address, and it goes out and it scrapes as much information as you're looking for. And for our sales reps who are always they're busy, they're in a rush, and they don't want to enter the information or don't have time to enter it incorrectly, the system started doing it for them. If they spelled the account name correctly and obviously the website, it would go back out and bring what we considered mandatory fields back in for them. So just a simple bit of AI was going out and doing a little bit of their work, their data entry for them. Another thing that we activated just recently that I find interesting is the voice of customer. In a previous world, we would send out surveys, and then you'd have to send out another email and say, hey, you can get a gift card if you fill this out. And here, as long as our team members, our users have sales inbox updated, it's pulling in those emails and it's reading and digesting what we're sending and what they're sending back and saying, okay, what did this sound like? Where is the customer potentially mentally? How should we answer? And as a person, you think you can do that quite easily, but when you have thousands of customers over 3 countries, you really can't. So the system has shed some light on, I'll call it kind of watch outs, whether it's person-based or customer-based, we've been able to see that. So those were some of our company-wide, early indicators of how we can utilize AI. On a bigger scale, we are a Microsoft house, so we've got that full suite. And a couple months ago, they had about 100 users that they wanted to roll out Copilot to. And so our CEO that was his initiative. Every month we meet. Every month we talk about how many users are signed up, how many users are active, how many prompts, so on and so forth. And then we also have users that give case studies, basically. Hey, this is my position. We all know each other, and this is how I utilize it. A lot of it's prompt based, but over the last 2 meetings, it's this is what I'm getting it to do at the end of every month, and it's starting to take that turn where it's I'm not prompting it. We know we're going to do this, and I'm going to pull the information, and it processes it and feeds it back. It's just quick, more proactive than reactive. So that's where we are as a company, where we've grown from, one, a personal perspective, but two, as an organization, which is being pushed, by our CEO with monthly meetings and just trying to, I don't even think he has to try. It's engagement from the users. They're excited to show what they're doing and how they're doing it, all the way up to our CFO, who did a case study last month on how he's using it as well. So
Wonderful. I mean, these are some brilliant use cases. I really loved how you started with making the life of the sales team easier. It's usually hard to ask them fill in data,
yes,
and to pull the data from the internet and enriching the database, the CRM. It hits a few targets at once, and then I believe you started going through a change management adoption. Did you experience any challenge or resistance, I would say, during that period?
there's always going to be some resistance. We're a company comprised of other companies. So we're owned by a private equity group, and we have our legacy business. But then over time, last 3 years, we've purchased, I'll call them regional companies here and there, and they've had their way of doing things, whether that's within their own system or Excel spreadsheets, or still paperwork. So getting everyone on board is quite difficult. You'll probably, in my past experience, might take more stick than carrot. But with the use cases and the willingness to open up and say, hey, I can do something better, and this is how I was able to do it, that drops people's guards and gets more people engaged in that process. As it relates to CRM, like I said, just the simple process of adding or enriching the data, it's your reports are only as good as the data that's being entered in. And won't curse here, but it's like, we know what's going in, we know what's coming out. And so I've noticed a couple users in particular that loved the TBD when it came to the address, or not, NA or periods. Over the last just few weeks, I've noticed they've been entering new prospects and they've had full addresses. And that's not because someone told them to do that, or else it was they were shown a tool that could benefit them. And as they approach their customers, or prospects, they also look more professional as well.
Wonderful. So you managed to actually empower the employees, augment their abilities using AI, rather than just thinking about probably replacement or other scenarios. And I like the fact that you push from both bottom and the top, your CFO, your CEO, they're encouraging people, mandating sometimes that they have to do certain things. And it feels kind of, for the lack of a better word, gamified, which is it incentivized or not, at least emotionally?
Yeah, it's not incentivized in terms of, I'm going to give you $1 for every prompt that you put in, but to think of the time that they're saving, or the advantage that they have over someone else. Because even within CRM, with the email portion of it, it's, hey, this is what their response was. This is what the recommendation is for how the rep should do it. And I mean, we all think we know the English language, and we may be processing it in our head, but our fingers may not be typing it. I'm the type of person where if you give me something, I could do a better job of correcting it than I could probably put it on paper. So to have that advantage as well is, you can still make it sound like you, but you're really addressing maybe the core problem or core concern by utilizing, I'll call it a third party if it makes them feel better. It's a little more difficult to get people to grasp, because they truly think that, not all, but some this is an opportunity to replace me. Like, not really. It's an opportunity to work smarter, faster, and give you more opportunity to go out and sell and make more money. That's the selling point to the team members.
And it should make sense. Uh, Great. So, from what I'm gathering, the current state, a lot of things are working
Yes.
in the right direction. And are there things that you like to share that are not working to your standards or at all?
We haven't delved into the agents yet, so I'll say it's not working, not because it's not working, but it's not working because we haven't reviewed it or tried to implement that as it relates to Zoho. There are opportunities for us when we release Desk to put that into play, because we're going to build, the knowledge base. And if they're simple questions, well, we want our customers or prospect to get those answers immediately. That shows how responsive we are and what have you. So there's an opportunity for us to grow there. It will take some, say, openness and willingness from groups of folks to say, I trust it, or it's going to make a few mistakes. It's not the end of the world, in order for us to really move, in my opinion, to that next level.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's so exciting what's happening around us that sometimes I believe we're forgetting the fact that we live, probably for the very first time, on the bleeding edge of technology. A few years ago, up until a few years ago,
Yeah.
bleeding edge belonged to behind the walls by the engineers.
Yes.
They used to, tinker and play with things. But now, business leaders are living on that edge, and of course, is not as clean and predictable as one might expect. So, and these things are natural outcomes. Some of the challenges that you mentioned, and I think it's important for these to be discussed among the team members, departments, and all of that. How do you see the future, the immediate future up until the dream state? What are the plans?
Well, as I heard someone say I guess the roundtable earlier, it's like we have to have a set of parameters in place. So if we understand what those parameters are and we work within those parameters, we should be able to keep the train on the tracks, so to speak. Not every person for themselves and doing their own thing, but let's work inside those and see how we can maximize, I'll say, the technology, really. We have 31 or 32 manufacturing facilities. We have design engineers in most of them. Not to say that we're trying to eliminate positions, but if we know that we've done something somewhere and somebody requests it, AI, within our, I'll call it portfolio, says, hey, you guys have done this already. You did it out of Guadalajara. There's a couple things that maybe you need to tweak. Again, that helps us grow as an organization. Customers want somebody that's responsive. They want you, whether they know it or not, on the leading edge of technology, and this technology is going to help us design and engineer packaging more quickly, more efficiently, more effectively, and maybe even for a lesser cost than a human would. We still need that human element of checking it, then the costing aspect of it as well. So there's certain avenues for us to continue to grow. So not that we're replacing individuals, we're just getting better as individuals, as an organization. The same goes for the sales aspects of it as well. As we talked about voice of customer, ideally, when we're putting in solid information into our opportunity pipeline with the industry and the product type, and that type of information, it does provide direction now, but maybe it could provide a better picture. Hey, this is the role that person won that opportunity. This is the type of product that they're manufacturing. All those things that really help us move to, I guess I'll say, a certain winning beat and help us grow our organization more quickly and more profitably. So I think if I were to say future state, those pieces about the design engineering, the costing, and the direction that we can receive from our systems due to AI analyzing the quality data that we're putting in, gives us a leg up. Especially, I mean, I've been in industrial manufacturing for, was 25 years? Yeah, 25 years. I can say that we are working in the right direction. Never would have thought a manufacturing company would have the, the wherewithal to step out on that technology ledge, and we're definitely there, and we're moving fast. So,
Fantastic. Fantastic. When it comes to Zoho and your Zoho stack, and you have the Microsoft stack as well, it's focused on Zoho. What are we doing right, and where can we improve ourselves? What are your, let's say, challenges or complaints about the current state of Zoho? Do you like our usual measured, conservative, but predictable ways of doing business and growing with you? Are you relying on us? Do you want us to be faster? How is that working out for you?
It sounds odd. I don't have expectations. What I do enjoy is seeing different features or add-ons pop up here and there, because you're maybe someone has talked to you about them, but you're proactive. Hey, this could be a positive to desk or CRM or projects, what have you. So we're going to go ahead and put this together, and we're going to head and roll it out into that platform or app, excuse me. So from that perspective, I feel like you guys are forward thinking. This is my third Zoholics. It was at a Zoho day, I guess a couple months ago. And last year at Zoholics, and obviously this year, AI has been a big topic, but always with the idea of we're not just going to race to be first. We need to do some testing, and we want to be able to deliver a product that's going to work. My guess is you're not last either, because the groups that are showing up to these things are getting bigger and bigger. So you're providing a service, and a cutting edge service that people are attracted to. So my thought is you're on the right track. You do listen to your customers, you do listen to your partners as well. So as you continue to evolve, I think just headed in the right direction without trying to go too fast.
Wonderful. And we definitely need your help and your insights, because these scenarios are very eye-opening for us as well.
They really
we learn
are.
a lot from you guys. Awesome. Do you want to conclude this with one parting word? Could be anything.
Yeah.
Ask, an idea, a complaint.
No, I think the big thing is go into it with an open mind, AI as a whole. Whether it's in your personal life and you're going to make an agenda for a vacation, or where do you want to go for vacation. These are some of the things that I like. Be very direct with how you interact with it. I met a partner at Zoho Day, and was like, don't say please, don't say thank you. Just tell it what you want it to do. I'm like, I can't really do that. But just overall, it's not going away. It can be used to help you personally and professionally. And if used if used and respected in a way, it'll help benefit you and your organization. So don't turn a blind eye to it, embrace it, but do it at a comfort level that's best with you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Well, on that high note, we'll conclude this interview.
Sounds great.
I really appreciate
Thank you.
that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.